Hello, everyone.
Uh,
Welcome to And I Digress, the first and very hodgepodge episode of. Would you like to
Indeed.
introduce yourself?
My name is Joe. I am your co-host.
I
Who's my
am.
who's my other beautiful co-host?
Thank you. You're also beautiful, Joe.
Thank
My
you.
name is Chase. Nice to meet you
How's
all.
it going, Chase?
It's going all right. I mean, as good as you can during a global pandemic, but I haven't
I've
been
been there, done
infected.
that.
Yeah.
I have not that I know of.
No, yeah. So the topic of this podcast is to have a very long, rambly conversation, starting from one place and we make it 180 to a completely different, like out of the blue topic. So
And this is something I'm very good at in my own conversations, and Chase is fairly good at it as well. So who knows if these episodes will be 30 minutes or 3 hours? Kind of the
yeah,
beauty.
we end these exactly at the point when it hits like the 180 point, like when we start.
Oh yeah,
As we are at this episode with like coffee.
indeed.
Once we hit around to the exact opposite, like 1700s warships.
There's a correlation with coffee there.
Yeah, well, I mean, potentially yes. Could be the trafficking of the coffee by various
Right.
European
various
powers. I think
Yeah.
there is an ice cream truck outside my house right now.
But regardless, whatever that 180 is, wherever we end, will be the starting point for the next episode of the podcast.
Absolutely.
And it will go on to some hellish cycle.
Yeah,
And who
So
knows
that's the
where it'll
point.
end. Maybe we'll get back to coffee and we'll decide, hey, you know what? We've talked about literally everything there is to talk about.
podcast done. That there is nothing left to talk about.
There is nothing more. We have covered it all.
And then
I
humanity
guess-
abandons speech, and then we are all silent for the rest of eternity because we did it all.
Why would you bother creating when you've already created?
Yeah, I mean, there is nothing left at that point. Once we've hit like episode like 468 of this podcast, it's done.
It's done. Yeah, there's nothing else.
Yeah. So, I mean, bide your time, enjoy it while you still have the ability to speak.
Oh yeah,
Do what you
I
can.
suppose.
Find love, find friends,
Oh
Clock
yeah, do the
ticking.
important stuff.
We are the
yeah.
doomsday clock for humanity. But,
2 minutes to midnight, baby.
yeah, I think we've already digressed enough from.
I don't think we've started with coffee.
Yeah, we even haven't started, but here we are.
Without further ado, this is And I Digress.
Yeah. Okay. So coffee,
Coffee. It's
love
a
it
thing.
or hate it. It is indeed
Yeah.
a thing. An ancient drink by some, margins.
Oh, yeah.
The Mayans
Mhm.
had it. What is your
They did.
opinion on coffee, Joe?
I have had a pretty polarized opinion on coffee in the past, maybe even 6 months or so.
Hmm.
Used to, not drink it like most people.
Good.
At some point you don't drink coffee, and then you do. And I was one of those people that did. And it was good. I enjoyed it. A nice, medium dark French roast. And it's pretty good for a while. And then my anxiety got pretty bad. And then I got the coffee shits every day.
It's not good.
And it got to a point when I was like, yeah, you know what? This completely sucks. So I'm just not going to drink caffeine anymore.
Yeah, the way ahead of you. You see, 2 years ago, I came to a crossroads in my life. I decided, I wanted to be better for,
As we all do.
a lot of reasons. So, I mean, my first step in that whole process, I came from being, a shut-in loser to the god I now am.
Now you're just a loser.
Yeah, now I'm a loser who goes outside. So, my first step was to remove all caffeine. And now I did never have a coffee. I think I had maybe like a coffee like smoothie or something once when I was like 7. But never had like the actual drink. My great addiction was Dr. Pepper, and I would pound those like no tomorrow. I would go through bottles and bottles all day. But I realized, what's the point in this? It's not fun anymore. It's like the spicy cherry flavor, whatever it's supposed to be. What even is that?
27 flavors.
Yeah.
And they're all ruined. 28? I don't fucking know.
It just tastes like fizzy brown now. Yeah. So, you should stop it. You throw them out.
Oh, yeah.
So,
props to you.
From that day,
you staged like a full-on intervention.
I declared war on caffeine. People go to like rehab for like drugs and things, but people don't realize caffeine is a drug. You know, it is
worst one I've ever done.
It is the worst drug I have ever done. It is a scourge on our society because, cocaine, meth, heroin, those are like...
those are bad.
They're against the law, but this one is accepted. It's promoted,
and encouraged.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Society is flawed because we like caffeine, like coffee. Coffee's like kind of like a gateway drug to caffeine. Like
indeed.
Yeah, like if coffee was like the weed, you get into the higher caffeine stuff. You got like
absolutely.
Like
your
the
Red
Bulls
and your Monsters.
Not even like so sodas is like the next step up. Like I don't know, like if you're taking like I don't know, ecstasy or something. I don't know if that's the next step up from weed.
No comment.
But it doesn't like kill you,
Right, but it's not necessarily great.
Yeah, no. It's definitely like worse, but like you're not destroying your life. And then you get on to like the energy drinks, like you have the Red Bull, the the Bang, the Monster. That's like your cocaine. That's your meth. Ruins your life. And then you get into straight like snorting caffeine powder, and that's like your street like crocodile that like rots your skin off.
Now, I would argue that I do agree with most of that, but I would say that the entry point for many, including myself, was, most soda.
I mean, that's fair.
There are caffeine-free sodas, like most root beers, which I very much enjoy a nice root beer. Most of those, caffeine-free, not an issue.
Yeah.
But, Coke, Dr. Pepper, as you mentioned, Mountain Dew in particular, all that shit.
Terrible.
No good. Yeah.
Fiendish. You see, big caffeine is the real, like people hate like big pharma, the cigarette like lobby back in the day when they, didn't have commercials all the time on TV. We still have big caffeine, and it's everywhere. It's not just one company. It's like all of them.
Yeah, it's not so much.
They're eating our youths and spitting them out as caffeine addicted.
It's not even the industry; it's the society. We live in a society.
We do indeed live in a society.
But yeah, I'd agree.
That's how it is. Okay. Very dark topic. I think we could digress into like the drug crisis and talk about how like,
oh boy,
I don't know, like Pfizer, terrible people, how they like gave people OxyContins, like here you go, painkillers, get addicted.
Oh yeah.
But do we want to?
Oh goodness.
Is this the first episode topic?
I feel like it should be a pretty natural digression. Like I feel that we'll get there.
Yeah,
eventually.
We will.
This feels like kind of a stretch.
Yeah, well, we are kind of getting there. How about let's take it? Let's make it a little bit lighter. Have you ever had coffee before?
Oh, yeah, I've had a shit coffee.
No. Like, have you had like shit like coffee that came out of a creature's like behind?
Oh, like caribou coffee? No, at least not to my knowledge.
There's like caribou coffee, but have you ever heard of like civet coffee?
I think I've heard of it, but never with any attached context.
Yeah, it is kind of crazy. Like they're it's like one of the most expensive coffees.
Yeah.
And there's these things called civet cats, which are like,
Mhm.
I don't
Yeah.
think they are actually cats, but they're little small mammal things.
Yeah, I was envisioning like a lynx, but that is a cat.
Yeah, and they
But
feed
sure,
them
yeah.
the cacao like berries or whatever.
Yeah.
And it passes through their system and it comes out as like this, I think it's like fermented, like it ferments in their system. It's like glob of like coffee, shit encrusted
turd, yeah.
Yeah. And they
As
like
you do.
clean that off, they like dry it or whatever. I mean,
Process it however you do.
And they sell it for exorbitant prices, overseas.
Yeah.
It is kind of crazy.
It's a delicacy. It's one of those rich white people weird things.
Yeah. Fun fact. Civet cats, we had the whole coronavirus thing going on. Were thought to be the initial vector for SARS.
Oh, really?
Yes. Mm-hmm. It was like the same sort of like wet market thing, I'm pretty sure. But that's how you got it. So maybe some rich people drinking their civet cat coffee.
Yeah.
Maybe that's how it all started.
Very well could have been those dumb rich white people. And I mean there are natives that enjoy such cuisine.
Yeah, they probably just take one off the, rack. Who cares? Get high on your own supply,
Yeah. There's a business to this, all right?
Yeah. Okay. So now that we're on kind of like exotic food items.
Oh.
You ever heard of like the weird fruits that they have going on in like Asia? Like I think Japan is like the primary one, honestly. But they have like those triangle watermelons or watermelons there.
What? Oh yeah. Designer.
Yeah. Like apparently you can get a watermelon to grow into any shape you want.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. If you like cage it
with the mold.
And
the weirdest thing is, one of my other friends was talking about this. You can like essentially make like not even like weird shapes like squares or pyramids or whatever. Yeah. You can make like a compartment essentially.
Really?
Like you can make a watermelon box. which is the weirdest thing.
Could I make a watermelon dodecahedron?
I mean, I think very likely. You gotta, make it to scale.
I need to know. I need watermelon D&D dice now.
Honestly,
I need them.
Yeah. You don't forget selling, civet cat shit coffee. That's
we got a business.
Next big industry right here.
I'll open an Etsy store. I'll do the research. We have basically no overhead.
Yeah, you just get some watermelon seeds and you're all good. You just need watermelon seeds, like a mold. You need to carve the numbers in, petrify the watermelons, and then sell them for exorbitant prices overseas. Yeah.
Ooh, but then we'd have to go through customs, and it's a whole ordeal.
Yeah, but that's a whole luxury. Like
the overseas market is pretty.
It's all about like optics, though. No one starts like a luxury clothing designer company in like I don't know, like Tennessee. You always got to start it in like Milan or like some city in France.
The other ones,
Yeah, because those places have a sort of like a culture, a mystique, even.
Indeed, yeah.
So if we want to sell our like exotic watermelon giant D&D dice, I think overseas is the way to go.
Corner an overseas market.
Yeah.
Find a locality that kind of has, I suppose, more so an influx of D&D players or even just RPGs in general.
Yeah,
And
honestly,
then
you can find you can corner the market on the entire European scene.
absolutely, I think we started in Amsterdam
Mm,
and we broadened from there.
yeah, I mean, potentially Amsterdam, good place. It was classically one of the great, trade ports way back
Mhm.
when. So, I mean, what's to say that we can't kickstart like the
Yeah,
glory of New Amsterdam?
a second wave, if you will.
Yeah, we can
Yeah.
kickstart I mean, I think we might have passed the third industrial revolution at this point. Like, what are we on? Like seventh, maybe?
Uh, this is like barely pre-singularity stuff right here. Watermelon D&D dice.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is basically the next big thing.
Oh yeah. I don't even think we need to keep explaining ourselves at this point. I think if you just don't get it, you don't get it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think the fun part, if we're gonna go back to exotic, fruits
Mm-hmm.
and things, like
Right.
watermelons are a kind of like run of the mill,
Oh,
kind of thing.
you think we go for more exotic fruits for a more exotic market?
Well, no. Like there are all sorts of crazy like fruits out there that like people just don't know exist.
That's
Apparently,
true.
cherries you can get to grow to like any size. Like you can
Whoa.
have like monster like plum cherries.
Mm, damn.
But you never see them in America, essentially.
Yeah, but they do exist.
Oh yeah, they 100% exist.
Yeah. I mean, like even the durian, like a fairly well-known fruit, but you
You
never
get an
see
Animal
one.
Crossing, but you never see it
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, Animal Crossing is how people find exotic fruits. You got those, you got the lychees.
Yeah, you get
Whatever.
coconuts. Those are pretty exotic.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Love me some coconut.
I got some oranges.
Apples.
Got some peaches.
Okay.
Those are pretty exotic.
Oh, love a nice juicy peach.
Yeah.
What is your favorite fruit?
That is a very difficult one because there's a lot of really good fruit.
There really are.
I
will accept a couple answers.
Okay. I am very fond of a lot of citrus. That's typically my favorite.
Okay. Pick a citrus fruit.
There are too many. Like
there are like 4.
Well, like I like all of them. Like I really love the sort of like spectrum, like the gradient from like lemon to lime to orange. Like on like sweetness and sourness,
Yeah.
Because like you ever like cut open a lemon and you just take like a big bite out of it and it's like, that is good.
I can't say excuse me, I can't say I have, but that I think is a problem.
Do you not like lemons? Do you never just like cut one in half and like give it a big lick right on like the citrus pattern?
No, I've never tried to turn myself into a human battery, but that's how I would do it.
I mean, I don't know what my charge is right now, but I haven't shot off
any negative.
If I were to be able to summon electricity by eating lemons, I would be the most powerful human being on the planet.
Now, as far as citrus goes, I think, and even as far as fruit goes, a very underrated fruit is the grapefruit.
I agree with you. I've had a grapefruit maybe, oh gosh, like 3 times in my like entire life.
Hand. Yeah.
But they're like really good,
Oh yeah, just take a nice one of those big like almost soup spoons, just right in there, peels right off the rind, I suppose. The peel.
Exactly.
Got a nice tanginess to it. It's not overbearing. Sweet. It's got a body, You
ever had a citron before?
I have not.
So, you might know this, but lemons are not actually natural.
I do know that.
Yeah. They're a combination between a citron and a bitter orange. And I don't know who like did that. I don't know who thought that was like a good idea. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Who decides to grow bitter oranges just like at all, because I've had a bitter orange, maybe not like a bitter orange, but you know, like a
right, but
orange
one that happened to be bitter.
that was bitter, and oh my god.
Well, that's
Like,
why they've got all these sour, bitter oranges, whatever, lying around. They're like, we got to turn this into anything.
turn it into when life gives you bitter oranges, you make lemons.
And citrons, then you make lemons.
Yeah. Because honestly, like when life gives you lemons, I'd rather have a lemon than a bitter orange, you know? Like that should be the saying. Yeah.
And to kind of piggyback on top of your like non-naturally occurring produce.
Yeah, go ahead.
There's a lot of stuff that people, you know, just don't realize is not naturally occurring. Such as like cabbage, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, kale, cauliflower, all that comes from one plant.
The mustard plant, right?
I don't think so. I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah.
And this all comes from Salmonella's videos. So, you know, trusted source.
Yeah.
But yeah, you just pick the trait that you want. You know, do you want more leaves? Do you want to, you know, supersize those? You want the flower buds? What do you want?
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, it's all genetic engineering in like the classical format.
Yeah.
It's eugenics, but you know, for plants.
But for plants, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But
the plants don't have feelings.
The second that I want to eat my baby, then people are like, well, you can't do that, etc.
You know, speaking of eating babies, you ever read, you remember Jonathan Swift with his modest proposal? Crazy thing though. I was looking that up and I'm like, I remember this dude from like something else besides eating babies.
Yeah.
He apparently wrote Gulliver's Travels.
No shit.
Yeah, no, like it's crazy. Authors wrote more than one thing back in the day, but you know, like I think it's weirder that the thing that we like go off of was the eating babies. But you know, you just stumble into stuff. That's just how it is.
Do we ever really get a choice with the media?
Yeah, no, you never do. But you find out that your baby eater also wrote a good book that turned into a Jack Black movie.
I was going to mention that.
Because, have you ever actually read Gulliver's Travels?
I have not. I saw the movie once when I was like 8 or 9.
Same
from
here.
Like Redbox.
I want to say that I had a Kindle book version of it for like the 5 seconds I had. It might have been on like an iPad or something. And I'm like, I remember this from the movie, you know? I hope Jack Black is in this one. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I mean, it would have been great if Jack Black was like the prophetic thing that Jonathan Swift like wrote about. Just like hundreds of years before he predicted this fat man who is very funny and also a talented musician shall play the part.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, he's a prophecy.
Like, you know, like people who did like prophecies, though, like the Nostradamuses and like all the other ones that you don't remember. How do you think they like did it? You know, like they make up a bunch of stuff. Like you have those like weird prophecy
for
books.
Every one thing that comes true, there's an uncountable number of.
Yeah, but like how do you think they like think of that? You know, like they wake up in this, you know, they're like, okay, I could be writing like
God
fiction
has
right now.
Spoken to me.
I could be writing about Jack Black years before his time, you know. Yeah. But no, I write about, you know, the world ending. This small thing is going to happen, which proves that the world is going to end. Like, I mean, you try and cast like a wide net, to get everything. And
encompass as much as you can.
That's why The Simpsons is the greatest profit humanity has ever had. But
Because they've gone on for like 28 seasons.
Yeah, because they've done all of it. Nostradamus doesn't have the motivation to go on like far beyond, being actually funny. He was just like, okay, I'm going to write some stuff. But not like 23 seasons,
Right, because there's only so much one man can do.
Yeah.
And, paper was expensive back then.
It takes a television network breathing down your neck and be like, okay, this makes money still.
The biggest TV and media conglomerate, really.
Yeah.
To speak of.
Back in the day, there was no like record to break for the longest running TV show as like an excuse.
You did it out of passion.
Yeah, and Nostradamus's passion only extended so far. You run out.
Yeah, as with every man.
Mm-hmm. So really,
then what do you do?
The TV show, these kind of things that are forced to go on forever are the only profits humanity really has, and that's just more of a byproduct.
Yeah. Correlation, not necessarily causation. Yeah. But someone that I have respect for in terms of, a TV show or some publication that, ended when it was supposed to at a very natural time.
Yeah.
Phineas and Ferb.
Phineas and Ferb. Honestly,
Indeed.
I think that could have gone on for as long as it needed to. Because
it could have.
I don't think there ever was a natural time for Phineas and Ferb to end. They ended it right. I agree with you on that one. But,
Yeah. No.
It could have been the infinite summer.
It could have. But the majority, I suppose, of the respect that I have for Old Swampy is, if you're not inspired, if you can't get passionate about your creative child, then, how is anyone else going to be?
100%. I agree with that.
And if you lose that passion.
Well, was that the reason?
Pretty much. I mean, he was running out of ideas and stuff to do that hadn't already been done. And
that can't only go on for so long.
Yeah, there's only so many things to do. You got 104 days.
Summer vacation. And then school comes along to end it,
Or, as the thought came into my mind last night in my garage would say, there's however many days of summer vacation because Corona.
Yeah.
This goes on forever.
Mm-hmm. And we are out there in our, perfect backyard every day with our group of friends that just happens to assemble around us.
Oh, yeah, our very diverse group of friends who live within walking distance and are always available.
Yes, and they always it's like a routine.
Yeah, exactly.
Forget
I always
school.
kind of wanted that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who needs school when you have Baljeet?
When you walk in, not even Baljeet. Phineas and Ferb are somehow master engineers at whatever age they are, not
9. Yeah.
Yeah. You don't need school at that point. You basically got everything.
Well, yeah. What else could you do even if you wanted?
Yeah. I don't get Phineas and Ferb are masters of fate and everything too. They are just gods within their own.
They traveled across dimension.
But then not even that. They have the powers of causality on their side. Every episode,
every single time,
their inventions, they happen.
It's
they
a
have
feature.
fun with them.
Yeah.
They just manage to make themselves disappear before anyone can notice, and somehow that's an issue.
Yeah.
Candace thinks she's gonna bust them when they build these fabulous inventions, and it's hey mom,
absolutely,
our brothers are masterful inventors. Come come
Yeah,
bust
they're
them, you
curing
know?
cancer out here.
Like they had that one episode where it was like hypothetical, like what if Candace did catch him? But like, why would that be the response? You know,
Mm-hmm.
it
I mean,
it doesn't make any sense. Like Phineas and
it
Ferb,
really doesn't.
good show. They had good songs consistently. You know.
Oh, absolutely. Of children's television, there are barely even a handful of shows that don't just pander to the network and, just throwing whatever they can to get kids to pay attention and get their viewership numbers up. But creating
100%.
something craftful that has any amount of substance to it that anyone can enjoy, even if it's just on in the background.
100% agreed.
Yeah. The attention to detail and just the wholesomeness and the passion in Phineas and Ferb is what makes it, such a genius of a program.
It is a transcendent medium.
Oh, absolutely. It transcends space and time and
forget
reality.
Carl Sagan's like golden disc that they sent out. They should have sent like a box set of Phineas and Ferb.
They should have.
To the aliens.
They already violate the rules of time. Just,
Yeah, like
go ahead and throw that on there.
Like the aliens put in like the VHS or whatever, and they're like, "This is just like us. We violate the laws of reality as well."
And look at what they have on Earth.
Yeah.
We're not so different, you and I.
Yeah, I mean, it's just how it is. Okay, what is the best Phineas and Ferb song?
Oh. Goodness. Oh.
Yeah, difficult to pick.
Oh man, I haven't sat down and watched that show in a while. I'm getting flashbacks to their telethon that they did of the best song, like the countdown 10 best songs that they've ever done.
I mean, it is subjective. Like you got to think
yeah, absolutely. I didn't agree with that list.
To you? Yeah.
I gotta remember, excuse me, I gotta remember the songs because I know that I'm going to say something and be hasty just because I like it and I can't think of all the ones that I enjoy. And then as soon as we're done recording, it's going to come to me.
Yeah, it's going to hit you right in the back of the head and it's like, dang it.
Absolutely. And then people are going to be yelling.
Yeah, I said Get You Goo was the best when it was really Love Handle the whole time.
Right.
Honestly, that entire episode slaps.
Classic.
Yeah.
The main Love Handle one?
Yeah, like the one where they got the band back together, you know?
Yeah. And vivid flashbacks to the library scene.
Yeah, well, that was classic. Everyone knew that one.
Shining moment.
But honestly though, the ones that people don't remember, the whole the style dude with the white hair, the whole hair salon, that one, that was really good.
All of that was just genius. Now,
Absolutely.
Something that sticks with me from that series, and maybe not in terms of songs, but just overall, I guess, just memorability, is Doof, of course.
Mm-hmm. Classic.
And his blunders, while simultaneously providing for Vanessa the childhood that he never had.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful dad.
Truly is a Christ-like figure.
He truly is. He is a martyr.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
and
I'm
people
trying to
disrespect
remember
him his entire life. But he gives back. He is,
He does. He's not different than you and I. He's misunderstood for sure. But he doesn't have it all figured out. No one does. But he's still doing the best he can all the while.
Also
to support
using
himself and those he cares about.
His reality altering ability. He also has causality working against him, but still as a force that surrounds him.
Yeah. I mean, it's just so deeply interwoven into the show that for any character to not have it is kind of just obscure.
You know, Joe, are you a believer in causality? Are you like a deterministic, there is a set order of events? Like, what is your philosophy?
Like a fate type of deal?
Yeah. I mean, almost like, that something like cause and effect rules the universe and there is nothing else. Are you more of a deterministic kind of guy?
I mean,
like, I don't know. What is your favorite philosophy?
Yeah. Joe? I do enjoy those thought experiments, like what's the nature of the universe and all that big ticket stuff that no one's been able to figure out, but it's just fun. I mean, butterfly effect, to kind of go backwards on the whole cause and effect thing. I don't know. It hasn't really stuck with me as a really viable or at least exciting type of thing. But I mean, we all do things for a reason, driven by, internal and external, not necessarily conflicts, but, stimuli. And so I think, cause and effect is a pretty big ruler of what happens in our world.
Fair enough.
How do you stand?
I mean, I don't know. Honestly, my philosophy at this point, I've seen so much ridiculous happen in, our own lives.
Oh, goodness. Yeah.
I mean, just across the world within our own lives, it's just everything, And I realize, let's just, philosophy to me isn't the biggest deal. It's fun to talk about.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. I just want to do the best for myself and those I care about. That's just how it is. And that might be a little bit simple, I guess, but like at the same time.
I mean, you got to be in such a world.
Yeah. So I guess to sum it up, if anything, my philosophy is probably that of Diogenes the Cynic.
My man Diogenes.
Yeah. Like,
Publicly defecating philosopher.
The best. Who's your favorite philosopher, Joe?
Oh, goodness. Oh.
Lots to choose from. Are you a classical Greek kind of guy, or maybe like an Enlightenment?
Not necessarily.
Philosophe? Are you a Descartes kind of guy? Or maybe a Plato?
It's been a while since I've brushed up on my philosophers. But as far as philosophical content that I absorb, 98% of it is just from Exerbia's YouTube channel. It's stellar. Have you heard of Exerbia?
No, I've not.
Oh, check it out. It is delicious. But he has a degree in philosophy. He is by no means a philosopher, but he puts classical and, more contemporary philosophical and, just, I guess, questions of being into an interesting light. And so I don't know, if I had to paint with a very broad brush, not knowing necessarily whose philosophy I believe the most, try to be a realist, because, otherwise you're just fooling yourself.
I mean, I guess.
I don't know. I'm hopefully optimistic.
Yeah, that's a good outlook.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
hopefully
hard
optimistic,
not.
But
Yeah, you're grounded.
You rein it in a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time, other side of that coin is just chaos, and it's kind of its role in the universe. Because you've got entropy, your boy.
Mm-hmm.
And then, worst nemesis to entropy is
Energy.
chaos.
Ooh.
Yeah, energy and stimuli. And so until, we get to the big crunch or whatever,
That
there's
universal
going
heat
to be
death?
some amount. Oh, yeah. I mean, whatever your opinion is on the end of the universe.
The big crunch would be pretty fun to experience.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
But,
I mean, you're just there a second and then you're all like,
boom. Nope.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's weird.
it is all weird. Universe, weird. Space, weird.
Oh, absolutely.
Everything.
I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, everything. All of the steps that were necessary for life to get to where it is now so we can be hosting this weird podcast.
Yeah.
Insane.
And we digress.
And we digress.
Roll credits. Haha.
Ah. They just said the name of the podcast, dude.
There it is, yeah. Podcast over. Yeah. So,
I mean, do you want to... Oh.
but
Go on.
is this 180 yet, though? We started at coffee. We're at, universe.
I don't know. There's a simple elegance to coffee,
Yeah. But you could
But-
argue there's a simple elegance to the universe, too.
Indeed, but we do kind of lean towards at least the hope that reality in the universe has some beauty to it, which, is true in most cases, at least. You go out on a nice summer evening, smell the crisp air, see the sunset.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Hear the birds chirping, the crickets cricketing,
Oh, the awful cicadas awfuling.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's a beautiful moment.
Okay, wait.
Mhm.
Completely off topic, but this is the point. Have you ever actually seen a cicada? Alive?
I've seen a lot of cicadas, yeah.
Okay, this might be the weirdest thing, but I have
Mhm.
never seen a cicada actually alive. I've seen a couple cicada shells.
Yeah.
When they're up in the trees, doing their garbage
Doing their
music thing. I've never actually seen one, and it just might be because I have terrible eyes and I haven't had glasses for the majority of my life. But I'm usually decent at seeing movement and stuff.
Yeah, like a T-Rex.
T-Rex, but yeah.
We assume Steven Spielberg.
Yeah.
But where you want to look for live cicadas, at least, is on the ground. Because
is that where they're at?
Mm-hmm. What they do, the life cycle of a cicada, and they come in broods, but there's still some every year, and then you get a big brood every 13 or 17 years.
Yeah. Remember when
and
the
then
cicada
a couple
ice
years
cream?
ago,
Yeah.
cicada ice cream.
Oh, that's what happens when you get the big brood. They just they take them, just put them in the ice cream.
Yeah. I mean, we got that a couple years ago where two of them overlapped. And that was
I don't know why you would ever want to eat that, but people have eaten weirder
blind
things.
demand, dude.
You ever heard
Blind
of
demand.
Greenland shark?
I have actually, yeah. And they let it ferment for however long.
Disgusting garbage, but people.
I
eat
would
it.
try just about anything once, especially food.
I don't know about that.
But
Clearly
anyway,
more
back to the
adventurous.
cicada thing.
Yes.
I am. They lie dormant in the ground throughout the winter and spring, and then their whatever circadian rhythm, whatever force drives you out of hibernation. I don't know. I don't hibernate. Brings them, up from the ground to mate and eat and do whatever dumb cicada things cicadas do.
Yeah, I mean, just
And so,
it's like spring break for cicadas. They
exactly.
go out,
Yeah.
They party. They annoy everyone. They get infected by coronavirus because it's spring and you should have been in there.
You shouldn't have been. Yeah.
Yeah, they shouldn't. They shouldn't do it.
No, but they do it anyway, much
But
to
they
the chagrin of everyone.
Do it
else.
anyway.
And yeah, after
Yeah.
their long, dormant winter's rest. They come out. They've grown a bit. They need to molt.
You know, at least with cicadas though, they make ice cream out of it.
Is this a real thing?
You want to look it up? I remember this. I remember the news report when I was like, oh my God.
Of course.
Like 11 or whatever. And it was,
just impressionable enough to believe that this is reality.
Well, no. They showed it on the news. They got like the big, like they got their news camera. They zoom shot like the like white ice cream with the like the brown parts like sticking out. And I'm like, why would you? Like they have those like scorpion like,
lollipops
or whatever, shit. But at least that's kind of like an aesthetic, like you're
right,
cool
yeah.
when you're looking at one of those because there's like a bug.
I'm not like other candy eaters. Ooh, yeah.
But like, there's no aesthetic to cicadas. It's literally just like the grossest color combination. Like, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
supply and demand.
I get that. But was there demand though? Who demanded
apparently,
cicada?
Apparently. I Googled cicada ice cream, and the very first thing that comes up, when they do the like snippet of an article, Google does, is in Missouri, a cicada ice cream flies off the shelf. That doesn't grammatically make sense, but stay with me.
Yeah.
Forget screaming for ice cream. To prepare the treat, and there's an ellipsis, to prepare the treat, the shop's employees collected cicadas in their backyards and removing the dead bug's wings.
Wage worker who was working at like an ice cream shop. Like there is no way you can get me to like walk around it. Like imagine the manager that day being like, you
didn't meet your quota.
You didn't pick up enough cicadas. Like like this is just a me thing, but like I absolutely hate any like I don't mind bugs from afar. Like they're really cool. I got my spider picture book when I was like 6, and I like flipped through that thing for like forever. But like if you have a bug close up to me, and I mean, and it's cool. It's cool when they're walking bugs. Like I'm good with spiders usually.
Right, things that can't go from a mile away to in your face in half a second.
I don't want to touch him, but
let alone
I don't want him to like hop on me. That's also bad. But like there's a certain distance. There's like a radius where you're gonna be like, okay, I just stay out of this. And
there's an event horizon.
But then you have like I don't like I like bees on a conceptual level. Like if
if the bees are gone, then we don't have the pollinizer for all our food.
Yeah. And some bumblebees looking kind of cute when you like zoom in on them or whatever.
They looking thick.
Okay, but but like I don't want them around me. Like when I'm out in the spring and I'm enjoying the sun. I mean, not now, but in years past, when I was enjoying the sun,
lying in the grass.
Lying in the grass, hanging out around the flowers, being like one with nature,
Cloverfield.
Singing,
watching the clouds.
I'm a Disney princess.
Being a child. Right before the existential dread kicks in.
Yeah. Right then. And then I see a giant like black flying like thing because again, my eyesight's not good. I can't like differentiate.
That must be terrifying.
Yeah, I don't want to see that. And I've never
the unknown.
Knock on wood, been stung by a bee or a wasp or a hornet or anything. But like,
good for you.
I don't want to because like I say this, I'm like deathly terrified of bees, and people are like, "Are you allergic to them or something?" And I'm like, "Do I have to be allergic to not want some like crazy flying bug to come over and like sting me?" Like I know
that's what a fear is.
Yeah. It's not like unreasonable. Like it's not like
it's not irrational.
Yeah, it's not like the fear of long words or something. It's like, there's a danger. Like, I know it's not going to kill me.
Yeah.
But I don't want
There's a rationality.
Yeah.
It's basic, like, survival instinct that's a thing that can hurt me. And I'm definitely talking with my hands right now. So you listeners at home understand that I'm passionate about this. There's big hand energy.
And you should make, like, the flapping motions, get it in your microphone. So they can.
Oh yeah, for sure. I've got earbuds on, so I'll just jostle around the mic there.
Hey, there you go.
How's that? That's good.
It's not good for the audio.
So, but yeah, there's a threat, and you're looking at it and saying, you see, that thing.
It's looking at
could
you.
hurt me.
And it's like,
you're staring each other down.
I'm gonna go check this guy out.
Yeah.
And people are like,
no,
don't move. It'll be all good. It's as afraid of you. Yeah, like, no, though.
Probably.
Like, I gotta get out of there.
Yeah,
I don't want to be in the vicinity of any bees. I'm gonna be like dodging it if it's like I'm like John Wick and the bees like bullets like flying everywhere.
I took a picture of a bee today, a really pretty good one.
Really?
I think. Indeed.
I commend your courage.
Thank you. I was also I felt pretty courageous because for the longest time, I don't want to get stung.
I would rather fight a bear than have a bee
That
sting
just
me.
be dope as hell. Even if I get one picture of me fighting a bear and I like nearly die, that's worth it.
Like, even if it's like a grizzly or a polar bear or something like terrible that could like murder you, I'd rather it be like that than like having like a swarm of bees like come sting me to death.
Like Animal Crossing level.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at least then it's just your like face and you just got to get medicine.
Well, now you can get sent back to your house.
Yeah, I mean, that part's annoying, but like...
If we want to talk annoying, it's the crafting mechanics for tools. But I digress.
Yes.
If I had to pick... Now, the question comes down to, do I know if the bear attack will be fatal?
Oh. Bear attack versus bee swarm?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care if it's fatal or not. Like, that's a cool way to die.
That's fair.
Like, especially if you get the bear while it's killing you. Like, if you like, go even with the bear. You don't have like
if you get a vengeful blow.
Yeah. Like you need to have like a 1-to-1 KD ratio at least.
Yeah. I mean, like right now I'm slacking. No murders yet.
No. You need to have a positive.
Well, I haven't been murdered, but I haven't committed any murders.
Yeah, like you still got time.
I've gone hunting. That's true. I've gone hunting, so if we're talking like bear murders here, that's the same ballpark.
Well, it depends on what you count as like a KD ratio,
Yeah, exactly.
Like what is the scoreboard?
Yeah, I think if we're including animals, it's only fair to play both sides.
Yeah.
If I kill an animal, that should count as much as me getting killed by an animal.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, honestly,
or Steve Irwin, bless his heart.
It should only count like if it's like reasonable. Like if you get a kill on like a bear or something, that could like reasonably.
Yeah, not like I killed a fly.
Yeah, like I kicked a puppy to death. Like what? No.
Yeah, like no, you're just a piece of shit. You don't get rewarded.
Yeah, absolutely not. You don't get to join like the KD ratio.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, don't reward people for their incompetence.
If you kick a puppy to death, you don't get to join FaZe Clan. That's just not how it. Yeah.
It's not how it works. It's a matter of principle.
Have you heard about the people who have like the legit, like really good KD ratios, like in real life?
In real life? Oh no. Are we talking like the history class posters where they've like ranked the worst people in history?
No, not even.
Stalin's up there,
like those are like assists maybe, but like
I mean like that's
legit
trickle
KD.
down.
You heard of?
I have not seen that.
Have you heard of like Simo Haya? I'm totally butchering that name, but it's like a.
He's fond of it, apparently.
No, he was a sniper in World War II, and he like single-handedly killed like 200 people.
Oh yeah. I heard of a sniper. I doubt it's the same one, but he got like 500 something kills in a year.
What?
If I'm remembering correctly, something just ridiculous.
That's kind of insane.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure
Don't quote me on that.
Yeah, like it might be. I don't know. I'm pretty sure, like, Simo, at least for the longest time, had the record. I'm pretty sure. I mean, great record to hold, Guinness record.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Most
best
murders
KD ratio.
committed. Yeah, most murders committed with amnesty.
Man, imagine like having like the Guinness like committee to come out and like verify that
with their little stopwatch.
Little stopwatch, like the clipboard in their suits, like right next to you, and like the tree that's like your sniper nest.
Now the question, this is very important for me. I'm kind of a visual guy as much as I am conceptual.
Yeah.
So, are they wearing ghillie suits or equivalent?
I don't know. Okay.
Or are they in like their suit?
Simo, I want to say this was like pre-ghillie suit. Like, I think he was wearing some, like, white stuff to camouflage, because this is, like, winter. This is, like, near Russia. Yeah. It was the Russian
Soviet
army he,
winter.
like, raised. But, like, yeah, I don't know. I think it would be funnier if the Guinness Records guy did not have a ghillie suit.
Absolutely.
Crazier thing, though, Simo did all of that with, like, iron sights.
Oh, damn.
On his, like, Mosin Nagant.
Seriously?
Yes, in like, the Russian winter.
Like the factory sites?
Yeah, the factory, like, iron sights.
Holy hell, yeah.
Apparently, the scope that was typically used on the Nagant, like, stuck out.
Take your time.
Stuck out over, like, cover and everything.
Oh.
So, I think, like, at least from what I heard, that's part of why he got so many, because, you know, the Russian army snipers were like using the standard issue like scope, because, you know, why wouldn't you use it? But
so,
you know,
if you're going to be a sniper, you better be good at sniping.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't even need it. He just got him, picked him out with the scope.
I can't imagine that. I can hit stuff with an iron sight. It's not a good time, but you can do it. And that's at maybe like max 50 yards.
And that's with like a modern gun.
Yeah, with a modern gun with like precision barrel and rifling and all that shit.
You got all your mods equipped, you know.
Yeah. And he's like in 1943 in the fucking Siberian winter. It's a negative 40 degrees out.
Yeah.
Iron sights lying down, frozen solid. Guinness World Record verifiers right by him. Shot after shot after shot after shot. Damn.
I wish it would have been in one day, but
moving targets. It's just field day.
Yeah. That was a good match
maybe
Battlefield.
Maybe if he was, you know, fighting for the Germans on D-Day, who knows?
Yeah, Jesus
Who knows?
Christ, yeah.
You know. Well, this is a wonderful topic.
Yeah. Craziest killers.
Keeping with us. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so there's people who has like who's like Simo, who has like the most like sustained kills, but like the greatest like killing spree, like if the announcer from like Quake was in there saying like triple kill monster kill.
Yeah, like he has the biggest streak.
Like, oh yeah, well, I mean, he has the biggest kill streak without dying. That's like, yeah, but like he lost it. He lost like the double kill or whatever because he didn't do it within 10 seconds of the last one.
Right? Yeah.
You hear about all the people who do stuff like that.
Oh,
like honestly though, like literally every good story about someone who like killed a bunch of people came out of like World War II.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like my great grandpa was in World War II.
Really?
He was like he was in the army. I don't know a lot about it. Can't really ask him about it now. I mean, I could, but it wouldn't really get anywhere.
Yeah.
But he didn't really have any stories.
Not that I wanted to say.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it was just so scarring that he didn't want to bring up any stories that he did have, which is very probable. Or
Yeah,
if
fair
he
enough.
just didn't see a bunch of shit.
You know, the thing that kind of like fucks me up though is that
Yeah.
there's like people who like are like crazy like berserkers who can like
Yeah.
survive. Like there's like this dude in World War II who like, you know, had his arm and leg blown off and still managed to like take out people in the enemy bunker even with all of that. And then like way back when even there was like the Viking who like single-handedly like defended a bridge basically from like 12 people with like just axes or whatever. Like he is literally a berserker. Like it is insane.
Yeah. He's a tank.
And these people are able to survive like so much. Like for the Viking dude, they had to send a dude down a barrel, like down the river in a barrel with the spear.
In a barrel?
They just like got him from like behind or whatever.
Oh, this is so cartoonish, but it happened.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, you know, truth is stranger than fiction a lot of times. History is
absolutely
like stupidly cartoonish sometimes.
Yeah.
But like,
I mean, where do you think we get the inspiration for cartoons?
Yeah. Like there's all these fairy tales, like they're like if you listen to like the non-standard fairy tales.
Oh yeah, like the legit German ones.
Yeah, well, I mean, not even that, just like ones from all sorts of cultures. Like they have a lot of similar themes. Like the way they're written and everything, it's like very simplistic and things just kind of like happen because they do.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like
this very like single dimension plot.
Yeah, like, you know, like the main character rescues a girl and they just like get married.
Yeah.
You know, just cuz.
It's part of the story.
And, you know, you pass like this like whimsical creature's like stupid challenge, like you're not like a complete jerk to him. And then he's like indebted to you for the rest of your life for some reason.
Yeah, you answer his riddles 3 and then
like they have
these challenges. Across the bridge. Yeah, and then
but that's just like how things were though, you know.
Yeah,
like, things just did happen like that because, you know, that's how things are. People just got married.
You don't have to explain it. Yeah.
You got to keep going.
You live until you're 28. May as well live while you're alive.
Yeah, you get infected with the plague and you like die. You know, who cares?
Boom.
Just go out, have some fun. Go out.
Yeah.
Imagine what spring break was like 1340s.
Where? Like, give me a geographic region.
Where do you think? Like Europe, you know, spring breakers rolling out to the like English beaches with the plague and everything going on.
The plague broke out in like the late 1300s, like 1363 or something.
Okay. Good job having exact dates. I don't know exactly when. It was just like 1300s.
It's a whole thing.
They had the plague and then they had the Renaissance.
Pre-plague? Okay.
That's just how it was.
During the plague?
Yeah, during the plague. Like, imagine the spring breakers back then.
They're either inside, you know, like, bring out shit, Dad! Level shit. Or, you know, they know I'm 22. I'm near my deathbed. I'm gonna go out and fucking party.
Yeah. I mean, you remember the flagellants?
Oh.
Yeah.
Remind me.
Okay, the flagellants were the people who like went out walking around towns and went like flaying themselves with like whips because they're like, "What God is punishing us?" Those people were like the real partiers. Like I want to hang out with them, see what they were doing because they probably got into some wild stuff. Like we you know, people know stories from people, you know, in the modern day. We have our, you know, you know, like I've been listening to a lot of like comedy sets recently. Like Comedy Central has decided to like take up the majority of my YouTube recommended.
Yeah, like This Is Not Happening stuff.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is for most of it.
Yes.
There's all these crazy stories about like going around in these cities to like crazy places. Crazy things happen. You know, you meet a superhero dude in Cleveland. That was not. This is but like imagine the stories from like way back when. Like, don't you want to know what was going on in like Mesopotamia?
Oh, absolutely. dude.
Because like some
Yeah,
wild crap goes on now, but like when people didn't know
Yeah.
that like
Yeah,
you know
like-
you didn't have air conditioning, people don't know like you know a lot of
Yeah.
these stories involve a lot of stupid people like just as a basis because you know typically
Right.
you don't get into these horrible situations if you are being smart the whole time.
Exactly.
But like imagine
Yeah.
back then when like no one knows anything.
Yeah.
While
You only
this
know
stuff
what
happened.
you've seen firsthand and heard from like your tribe or whatever, assuming where you live.
Yeah.
Like in ancient Rome, for example, you know, like 2,000 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
they, you know, were such a big empire in terms of scale and just power that they were able to, you know, bring a bunch of exotic shit to Rome
Yeah.
and, you know, display it and do what rich people do.
Yeah.
And one of the things that they did was use fucking war elephants. And if you're some barbarian, you know, you're coming from like Germany or something to fight, and you see a horde of like 30 gigantic gray masses with big giant like arms coming out of their faces, what are you going to do? You're going to flip shit. Like what other option is there?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
So yeah, not knowing at least a ton about life outside of your day to day, and then you go out, even just like next town over, there's shit there you've never seen, never heard of, you don't know anything about. So, you know, this is where we get all the tales of the 7-legged beasts and all this other weird shit, because people don't know what's happening. They have to put it in terms they can understand.
You get those like weird paintings of lions that look like nothing. You remember? Oh my god, I don't know. I want to say it was in like a history book that we had at some point. But like there's this stupid painting of like it was a good painting for the time, but like the lion in it.
Yeah.
Oh my god, like
yeah. Those painters had never seen them. They're like, oh, it's like a dog, probably.
You know, like in ancient times, like telephone was a game people were playing, you know, regardless.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
We do it for fun now, but like, you know, you had no choice back
That's
then.
what you had to do. Yeah,
you had to play telephone, and it got, you know, messed up along the way, and that's just how it was, you know?
Yeah. And a lot of times that telephone line cuts out, and you just have to fill in the gaps yourself.
And they did. I mean, they didn't have telephones. It was called like, you know, smoke signals or whatever back in the day. But like,
yeah.
I mean, this modern information age is something we all kind of take for granted.
Oh, absolutely.
But
and even back like 100 years ago, we didn't have cars really. I mean, barely.
Yeah.
We didn't have modern medicine hardly.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy to think that, like, you know, when you like study something in class, like it's usually in hard sciences, like when you like look up something, some weird concept that's like really important, you know, like for some aspect of like cellular respiration. How does the mitochondria become the powerhouse cell? You look when this is discovered, and it's like 1980, and like
and this is central to what we're learning 30, 40 years later.
Well, yeah, but like that's such a short like turnaround though. Like we didn't know any of this for the majority of history, and now it's just like, okay, this is like a main thing you got to learn. Who cares who discovered this? You know?
Yeah. Like
so much basic stuff we only discovered within the last 100 years.
Absolutely. I'm sure you have heard of the singularity.
Like the technological singularity, or
yeah. That whole concept has always enamored me, even before, you know, I had heard the terminology. Just like, you know, for the majority of mankind. Like we had fire, maybe.
Yeah.
And that was it.
If you get lightning to strike on your
Yeah.
stick, you got fire.
Boom. Yeah, and like you're lucky if you can find a stick that you can get kind of pointy enough to maybe kill something.
Yeah.
And then, 10,000 years ago, we get agriculture and like we start domesticating animals. And then
we get
2,000 years ago, we get these big, giant super nation states, complex societies. And yeah, like barely 100 years ago, like we didn't know how to fly.
Yeah.
And 50 years after that, we've nuked a country.
Well, yeah. And now we can nuke them even harder.
Oh, exactly.
Like, Hiroshima's still there, but like if we dropped a nuke now,
Oh, goodness, yeah.
it's gone.
Yeah, like, no, we're done.
Yeah. So, I mean...
It's a time.
Yeah, kind of crazy. So coffee to nuclear annihilation. What degree are we at, Joe?
Oh man. Oh, there's so many degrees. If everything is 6 degrees apart.
Are we at the 180 yet?
Oh. We're
I'm
getting
curious.
there.
Yeah, we
We're
are
pretty
very
close.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it depends on the criteria. Like I was thinking about this before this episode is like if you take coffee, there's a lot of characteristics for coffee.
Yeah.
It's brown, it comes from a bean, it's a drink, it's widely used, it's socially acceptable.
As historical
many
ties.
Varieties. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Its origin, it's
tied to
like
caffeine.
harvesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is
What-
there's exotic
what is-
flavors. Yeah. All sorts.
Yeah, what's the anti-coffee?
What is the anti-coffee?
Yeah. Like,
So
does that mean something that is the polar opposite of all of its traits combined? Or like, what does that entail?
or is it like an internal like opposition of the concept? Like, what is coffee to like society?
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess
let's explore that.
yeah. Let's let's unpack this.
Let's talk about that. This music is copyrighted.
So I guess we gotta choose like what angle of coffee we're looking at. Like, is it coffee's relevance to society? Coffee's like point in history. Coffee as a food item.
I would say is I really like where you initially approached it from, just the societal view.
So
if we have to paint with a really broad brush.
So I mean,
how
I
does
guess
the world
going
see
back
coffee?
to the historical component, coffee did start out as more of like a fun drink for people back in the day. If I remember correctly, it was typically for higher class people, as
as it is.
As it is. But now coffee is something omnipresent, at least in American society.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's as prevalent elsewhere. I'm going to assume probably yes.
Pretty prevalent in Latin America, South America, all that shit.
Yeah, where it's like produced typically.
Yeah.
And
then Europe, I'm sure too.
Yeah. But so coffee is something that is used as an almost sort of like stimulant that is, endorsed by society, as we mentioned earlier with the whole tirade against caffeine. But the opposite of it, that is kind of difficult to say because, like, I guess to define as properties, it is an aspect of culture. It's like something you drink, It says something about you, like what kind of type you like. It's something
how you kind of associate yourself.
Yeah, and some people like judge you on it. Like if you want like a,
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
A lot of milk, a lot of sugar. Your
coffee culture is brutal.
Yeah, so it is almost a culture within itself.
Absolutely.
So,
I mean, you can say that about a lot of things now.
I mean, yeah, honestly, like fun topic for maybe like next episode or something. But they like it's crazy how deep like a bunch of subcultures get and like all sorts.
Oh, absolutely. like even just within the music that I enjoy, to go off on a wild tangent as I like to do.
Yeah.
You know, like I like a lot of what is encompassed within metal and rock stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But then like I like weird like jazz fusion-y stuff, and then I like Cannibal Corpse and shit. And all of those cultures in between and everything are, you know, they're under the same umbrella of metal, but they're all just so different and defined by, I guess, you know, those more core elements. And that's within one thing. Like you show that to your aunt and she's like, demons. And, you know, it's one thing.
Yeah.
So it depends, I guess, you know, on your perspective and how deep you go into it. But
like, honestly, the thing that I think is the weirdest is how, like, with all these subcultures, how you like reconcile them with one another.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like you live in a world where people like argue over like what kind of coffee you get, like how much your like milk percentage or sugar percentage is. And then not even 100 years ago, we had people, you know, killing each other, getting 200 KD ratios.
Yeah.
Like, how do you reconcile that? Like, it is insane. And I mean, that's just like one example doing a callback to this episode. Yeah. But like, I can go like way weirder. There's like, you know, a bunch of just honestly strange things that people like devote their lives to. When, you know, not a long time ago, we were just all like farmers, hunter gatherers, you know?
Yeah. You had to be a generalist.
Yeah.
You had to be, or you die.
Yeah. So back to coffee. Its place in society. The anti-coffee would be...
Right. Or not necessarily anti-coffee. It doesn't necessarily need to be pro-con, but something, you know, just on the other side of the net.
Well, yeah, so some kind of opposition, like something that is, you know, 180.
Now, when you first started...
Yeah?
When you first started getting into it, the more like historical aspects, I thought as, you know, a counter coffee, barbecue. Because rather than something, hear me out. And it doesn't by all means check the boxes, but I think it's a good starting point.
Perhaps,
because it started as something, you know, that people didn't even want. It was just...
You're right.
Yeah. Whatever garbage, meat, entrails, that you just don't want. It's given to slaves, typically. Mm-hmm. And they found a way to make it one of the most popular, like, styles of American cuisine.
Yeah, and there's so many, like, varieties of it.
Yeah.
Kind of like coffee.
And, now...
starting point.
It is more of a... Yeah, like an upper class type of thing, although it definitely started as the lowest of the low.
Arguably.
Kind of went up.
And if you think about it, coffee and barbecue have almost like traded positions.
Exactly. Yeah, because now like I can go to Jack Stack and spend like $100 on one or two people's food, just like a dinner. But, you know, coffee now, like, I can walk up to a vending machine and get a shit coffee for 50 cents.
Like, yeah, you have like the bougie coffee places. You have your like $10 coffees, but like coffee is something that is almost necessary for people who like have to work a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, it's just ingrained.
Yeah.
And
so
thus,
I think
you know,
we might have found the anti-coffee.
And it is a food as opposed to liquidous coffee, although if you want to be Mr. Semantic, it starts as a bean.
Yeah. Arguably, you can make it not food. So if you like burn your barbecue like really, really badly, it becomes just
drink
like
that bean juice, man.
Charcoal brick. I guess you could do the same thing to coffee, but like,
oh man, boil all the water out.
But yeah, I mean that leaves you with nothing. You have something.
Eat coffee grounds.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah. If you completely evaporate your coffee, you have nothing. But if you burn your, you know, barbecue like really badly, you still have your charcoal brick.
You get burn ends.
Yeah, well, beyond burn ends.
Yeah.
Way.
Charred everything.
Yeah, so you can't eat it. it still has the same properties. So charred barbecue from somewhere like bougie. Which, I mean, yeah, that would be like most places, I guess.
Yeah.
Barbecue is kind of expensive. Although one time I was in North Carolina, and they have a different kind of barbecue than we have here. Let's not say where we live because privacy. But I think we might have already ruined that.
We live in America.
There you go.
I'm sure I fucked it up.
Shoot.
Yeah.
But yeah, one time,
on that.
it's like, we can like bleep it out, I guess. But one time, so
Fix it
when
in
I was
post.
in North Carolina, they have a complete
which may or may not be where we live.
In post, yeah.
Go on, my bad.
But their barbecue is pretty cheap too, though, and it was pretty good. Like, I got hush puppies with it. They had like white bread, which is kind of but like but it was
kind of a
honestly not that bad. It was different, but it was pretty cheap in comparison to like the hotel I was staying at. I ate like, I think maybe the second worst steak I've ever. This is gonna be another tangent. I've had like the
That's
worst.
the point of the show.
Yeah, it is the point of the show. But I've had the worst steaks of my life, like ever. Just going on vacation. Like one time I was in Chicago.
Yeah. Chicago.
Yeah, there was a lot of good food there. I had a deep dish like the first day I was there, and that was pretty good. They have this like popcorn that was like really close to my hotel.
That place.
Yeah, where they like drench it and stuff, and that stuff's really good too. But like, I went to this like really nice restaurant. They have like live music and everything. There was.
Damn, yeah. Is this like a like put on your Sunday best type of place?
I mean, we didn't have our Sunday best on.
Is it like Applebee's Plus, or is it?
Oh no! It's way more than Applebee's Plus, but like it was a legit like fancy restaurant. They had good fries, but I ordered like a New York strip or whatever, and it was like the most like burnt. And I mean, this might be partially my fault because I ordered like medium well. And that's
I shoot
usually
for medium. Yeah, I used to be a medium well guy, but
usually when I have steaks, that is fine. But with this New York strip, like it would have been fine on some level. Yeah. It would have been fine on some level, but like you have like literally the two worst flavor combination. Like you eat it on the outside, it's like this charred, like burnt, like whatever.
Like it just tastes like carbon.
Yeah, it does taste like carbon. But in the middle, it's like this like flavorless, like weird, like squishy.
Oh, shell.
Yeah, it is terrible.
Ugh.
But yeah.
I know exactly what you mean.
Anyway, back to the barbecue place. Way better than that. Way cheaper.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I mean, like, I feel like we can disclose our region for a little bit of context.
Midwest.
What?
Midwest, our region?
Yeah. Yeah.
Home to
first part of that
best barbecue.
Oh, yeah.
Barbecue
creme de la
I'm fond of because, it's familiar.
It's what you do, yeah.
Yeah.
And, I mean okay.
I kind of want some
Here's the
barbecue
question. Dude, I always want barbecue.
Yeah, I know. But yeah. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
But we may have to fix this in post, but we are known as like the barbecue capital of the world.
There are a couple places that you could argue with that, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Which narrows us down.
Yeah, but whatever. It's a general area. Yeah, whatever. People aren't that interested, and if they are, they get a prize.
Yeah.
But it's a very kind of, I don't know, a revered style of barbecue. But part of the joy of that, as with any region, you've got your own culture, your own,
Yeah.
like societal norms and traits and preferences.
Mhm.
And you can put your own spin on stuff. Like
Yeah.
if
Shout out.
Japanese from 100 years ago saw how we eat sushi today, they would die.
I don't know. I think
But
it's same way, vice versa.
Yeah. I mean, I love putting a fresh spin on something, you know?
Yeah, I mean,
Giving
that's
it
what
new
makes
life.
things fun, you know, and people's
Yeah.
interpretations of everything. That's what makes,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's always good to see that. And that's why you should
Yeah.
make it a mission to try barbecue at every place, you go to.
Yeah. And you'll remember it, and it'll give you, good or bad, a very like vivid, memorable memory of wherever you went.
You know what is
But-
the anti-coffee?
It very well could be.
No.
Can I? What is?
Yeah, what is? I was thinking about it for a second, and I'm like, barbecue.
Okay.
I think we've like in terms of like a food item, like a thing you can eat regularly. Barbecue absolutely is probably the opposite of coffee, but
Yeah.
I think the opposite of it, just like in terms of society as a whole, would probably be like sleeping pills.
Oh, okay, yeah.
If you think about it, though, because it's like
Wait.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Before we get into this, no, it's completely
No.
me ruining everything. I have a grievance that I would like to air
Okay, air it.
because I feel very passionate about it.
We're on the air.
St. Louis barbecue.
What
I
is
don't
St.
like
Louis
it.
barbecue?
We, in our region that we reside in, use very typically a tomato-based barbecue sauce.
Okay.
It gives it that like hearty body, but then
That's
depending
tomato-based?
on what you do to it. Yeah.
Okay. Did not know that.
Yeah.
But
Like
that kind of makes sense.
Nashville area, that's more like a molasses based.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, here where we live, almost said it, tomato based. What you do to it, can give it a more smoky flavor, more sweet, but it's intrinsically hearty and, it works for me. I've grown up on it. A lot of other people like it.
Yeah.
St. Louis barbecue is like vinegar based.
Oh, yeah.
It's not good. I mean, my dad went there on a business trip a while ago. Not a while ago, like a decade ago plus.
Yeah.
And he was there for a while, and there were people that like with him there that had grown up there or had family there or whatever. And they're like, oh dude, you got to try this barbecue. It's like the best. Cause they've grown up on it or, whatever. It's their standard and they really like it.
It's what they're familiar with.
Yeah, exactly. Familiarity is comforting.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I mean, if you haven't been able to enjoy the wonderful flavor of a tomato-based barbecue sauce,
They just don't know anything
regularly.
better.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, I'm shitting on St. Louis, but it's also St. Louis, and it kind of, needs to be reminded of that every now and then. We love you, St. Louis. Missouri, kind of a shithole, but we love you. Regardless, my dad tried it. Like, no, this is awful. This is not good. And I can say with a decent degree of confidence that a lot of the food, now that I think about it, that I've had in Missouri is not that good.
You've been into
I take that back. I will add a big caveat to that.
Okay.
Missouri, if you think of just Missouri. Not that
Missouri,
great.
yes.
Kansas City, Missouri. Diamond in the rough.
Yeah, the one good part.
That is, huh?
The one good part, yeah.
Yeah, the one good part, except maybe the arch.
Yeah,
Maybe.
fair enough.
Maybe, but that's the part of Missouri that is good enough to not be grouped in with Missouri.
Well, because it's just a nice, little city.
It's kind of big, but
well,
yeah.
Okay, nice little city in terms of like, it's a nice place. That's
yeah. It's no Chicago, which is it's nice.
Yeah,
it's nice. It's more manageable. It's more homely in a sense.
Yeah, a homely city.
Yeah, but it's still got the hustle and bustle. It's got shit to do. It's got sports. It's got concerts and big events.
Yeah,
and good food, unlike most of Missouri.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'm imagining this because unless we do something differently, this will be on SoundCloud and you can add comments like as timestamps.
Yeah.
I'm imagining an influx of comments like, fuck you. It's the best. You haven't tried this place. I've had Emo's Pizza. If you're going to recommend Emo's, it's awful. Long story for another day.
Emo's isn't that bad. Like, would I rather have any other type of pizza? Yeah, probably. But like, it's not that bad.
I just have not good stories surrounding it.
Like, okay, it's just like pizza though. Like, even if it's bad, and like Emo's, I wouldn't say it's the worst, even out of like the biggest change, but it's definitely.
I don't like chain pizza that much.
Yeah, fair enough. But I'd say it's like lower half.
Yeah. And I'm not trying to incite a like regional war as much as I love conflict.
Yeah.
Which is not at all.
Domino's pizza sucks.
Really? Okay.
Like
Domino's has gotten a bad rap. But go ahead. Go ahead. I'm interested.
People say it's good, and I haven't had Domino's that much. My family has never been a Domino's family.
Understandable.
And I've had
Stop calling me. Real quick side note. I keep getting a fucking call from the same number. I've gotten like 3 calls in the past 2 days. I don't know who you are. Stop calling me. Thank you. That is all.
If you're among the audience, please stop calling Joe.
Please stop calling me.
But anyway, I've had like Papa John's. I've had like Pizza Hut. Those are fine. Like, I mean, they have variable quality. Sometimes you get a bad pizza, but like Domino's,
I mean, as with anything,
I've had it maybe like 4 times in my life. I remember way back when I was younger, I had like a roller skate like party. I think with like my elementary school, they had Domino's.
Okay.
But like every time I've had it, it's been just like the most disgusting, like kind of cardboard tasting pizza I've ever had. And maybe, like maybe I've had a bad experience with it. Like with like video games, like I like a lot of MOBAs. I play League of Legends usually. And Dota's like the big competitor just for the non-video game players a lot. And I like a lot of MOBAs. I've tried out a lot of them. I play like Here's the Storm. I play Smite. Those are fun. Dota's the one Dota's like the only like big game, I guess, out of the MOBAs I don't regularly play. And for the longest time I like hated it because I like just tried it once and it's like, this is way too complicated for me. Yeah. Even though like literally every MOBA is that complicated.
Well, that's kind of the point. Yeah.
Yeah. I just took the time to learn the other ones. But with Dota, I went back and played it and it was like, okay, this is fun. This is, this is like, when you start to pop off when you win, it's a fun game because I mean, it's just, how
you learn the mechanics. Yeah. Reward centers, etc.
Yeah, you don't get like, it's not a good game when you're losing, but you just need that one time you win to be like, okay, this is a decent game.
To give you faith in the game.
And I've had that experience with Dota, but I've never had that winning experience with Domino's Pizza.
That's very fair. I respect that.
Yeah, I feel like it's a weird thing to not have a winning experience with. But like, when you have a good Domino's pizza, like tell me. Like I want to experience it. I want to see what's like good about Domino's. Why do people like it so much? Because sorry, go ahead.
No, go finish your thought.
Well, I was gonna say like, when I have parties, when someone like insisted Domino's pizza, I'm like, why? Like, what is good about them? But
that's fair. And that's
I digress.
Quick, side note, I guess, to my Emo's experience.
Yeah.
That was the case for me. It was, we had to go to Emo's.
Oh, okay.
And we went. I had my hopes kind of up, not necessarily. I knew it was, just pizza place, but whatever. Kid was excited about it. Not going to go into too much detail. Regardless, awful pizza. Multiple people in the party of like 9 people.
Yeah.
Got some degree of food poisoning or
oh my God.
similar. It was not good. My stomach was not doing too well. I had mondo bathroom visit before we left. And then one other member in the party who I should clarify is lactose intolerant, but took it fairly easy on the pizza. We had to pull over off the side of this interstate.
Oh my
By
God.
some fucking like old decrepit abandoned barn. And we were sitting there for like 25 minutes with no sign of the guy. And he returns from behind the barn, like looking like a changed man. He was disheveled. He looked disappointed. He looked like he just had to bury his dog.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
might
he
have
gets
been
in the
about
car.
same weight.
He gets in the car, and we all look at him, of course, expectingly, like, did you fucking die? And he just says, don't want to talk about it.
Oh my
And
God.
that was that. That was that. But
He
yeah,
got
maybe
abducted
that's
by
why
aliens.
he's a new person.
You just thought he took like the worst like.
The most atomic diarrhea known to man.
Yeah, but really, it was the aliens who gave him something even worse.
Oh, man. But that's probably why, or at least a portion for sure, of why my emo's experience was bad.
You know, fair enough. Fair enough.
I went back, wasn't great, not as bad as the first time by any means, but still not great.
Yeah.
Regardless, back to Domino's.
Oh yeah. Well, no. Do you have a strong opinion on Domino's?
Not a super strong opinion, but I've been thinking within, the past couple months, what is my favorite pizza place? Because that's kind of, a bigger question. Hey, where do you want pizza from? Yeah. Everyone's got a place. Everyone's got a favorite.
I mean, I don't really like.
I mean, yeah, for the most part.
It depends
You're
on
either like really floored or like, eh.
Well, it depends on what I'm in the mood for, even. Like, there's different pizza places for like different times. Like,
Absolutely, yeah.
It depends on what you like want out of the pizza.
Yeah, like you're not gonna go to some like raging house party. You're like, let's get Papa Murphy's. Can you preheat the oven?
Yeah, 100%.
425.
Like Papa Murphy's can be pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like...
But yeah, it's definitely not the pizza for most times.
Mm-hmm. It's more of not a luxury item by any means, really.
Like it's a very situational pizza.
Exactly, yeah. It has a time and a place. But among, the more readily available, like delivery, whatever pizza, Pizza Hut, I used to really like, but like I can't anymore. Like their thin crust, pretty good. Cheese is just, toppings are, sauce is a saving grace, and that's not even that good.
Yeah,
they're like whatever hand tossed, whatever crust that ends up like a sponge, and it just absorbs all the grease. Like it makes my stomach hurt after a slice or two. And I mean, I don't necessarily have the most resilient stomach. I have acid reflux. It's just a thing that happens. But still, I don't want that from pizza. I don't want that from any food.
Yeah, fair enough.
And I mean, if my stance on a pizza place is like the best you can get is just like, no. Just like next. Papa John's. Pretty good. Significantly better than Pizza Hut. Mm-hmm. Very, very hit or miss.
Yeah, honestly.
Absolutely. I have had Papa John's pizzas that have like made my day. You have a long day, you get back home, you see that banana pepper, and all of the toppings just like piling off of the pizza. You take that bite and like, like right as your teeth hit the pizza, if it's going to be a good one or not.
Yeah. That's how it is.
Yeah. It's like you either roll a nat 20 or a nat 1. Like that's all you get.
Basically.
And if it's a good pizza, fantastic. Make your night. It's all good. Crust, flaky, but it's got a good like
crust does what it needs
doughiness.
To.
Yeah. It's not like the best crust.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely not. But
it functions.
It gets it done.
Yeah. The cheese, pretty good. Again, not fantastic, but on a good day, pretty good. Sauce, I don't really like a ton.
Yeah.
It's not hearty, really. It's just kind of
I don't know. I don't think the sauce is that bad on Papa John's, but
yeah, I mean, but just do me a favor real quick.
Yeah.
Close your eyes.
I do have
Everyone
a Papa
at home
John's pizza sitting in my fridge right now.
Really?
I can go warm one. I was actually thinking about that, but
if I could warm up pizza right now, I'd fucking do it, man.
Well, yeah, I mean, we got a podcast though. That's
yeah, that's true. We're committed.
Yeah.
So
I'm not going to digress that much.
You and everyone at home, do me a favor. Close your eyes. Or maybe you're at work or on the bus wasting your time doing this. Close your eyes.
Enjoying some
think
podcast.
Yeah. Quality media. Think about pizza sauce.
Pizza sauce.
Think about it independently or within a pizza or as even just a concept. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine the taste of pizza sauce. Pretty cool, right? Not fantastic.
Yeah.
But, it's zesty. It's hearty. Got a good body.
Is it though? I'm envisioning this. My eyes are closed.
Like a good pizza sauce.
The red puddle and my tongue like just dragging across it. Parting like the
not like Little Caesars, not Little Caesars like cup of red sludge. But
I can't whenever I eat pizza though, it's never the sauce that stands out. It's just like
that's fair. Yeah, it's there, and it wouldn't work as well without it. But it can make or break.
Yeah. Like I've never had a pizza where the sauce was like really like the wow,
Yeah, and I don't think it should be necessarily. It's kind of like the drummer in a band. Keep your eyes closed, by the way.
Okay. Yeah.
If you have, excuse me, if you have a drummer who gets the job done, nothing too special, but he's solid.
Mm-hmm.
That allows the band to perform what it needs to do.
Yeah, fair enough.
You're not necessarily
show episode.
Oh man, I
just ruined it, didn't I?
I can't. No. But
yeah, good.
It gets the job done. The band does what it needs to do. It's good. Mm-hmm. If you have a really over the top drummer, and I'm not even going to say really good, but a very over the top, lots of drum fills, drum solo every half second, that kind of drummer, it takes your attention away from what otherwise may have been a really great band.
It's like Nicolas Cage if he was like an extra in a movie.
Yes. That.
Like he's in the background doing like his Dr. Bees. Well, something more important is going on up front.
Yeah.
And that's why you always got to cast him as like the main dude because he just doesn't work otherwise.
Can't keep my eyes off of you, Nick Cage. Yeah. But then if you have a really shitty drummer who can't stay on time and doesn't know what he's doing and he doesn't follow the music, that ruins the band.
Yeah.
So as far as pizza sauce, maybe you get one that's really great. I haven't had that. But, for the most part, as much as it is it functions like that's as good as it's going to get.
It's like if it does its job right, you won't notice it.
Yeah,
it's
pretty much.
It's part of like the mosaic of flavors,
Mm-hmm.
What I usually notice is the cheese. That's just, how it is.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
And
because no matter what pizza you get,
but yeah,
cheese, yeah. And if it's like that weird, more like sour, like less melty, less cohesive cheese, then that's like, I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
But if
I've had pretty standard cheeses on my pizza.
Yeah, I mean, I think sometimes it's just the way that it's prepared. I don't know. I'm not a pizzeria owner. Yeah. But regardless, everyone, your eyes should still be closed. I'm very disappointed if they're not. But think back to pizza sauce.
Yeah, pizza sauce.
Imagine the taste of pizza sauce. Now just think.
Okay. Meh?
That, most of the time, to me, in my experience, my subjective opinion, is the experience that I get with Papa John's pizza sauce.
That's fair. Like, yeah. I mean, like I said, I think it just does its job. Like, I don't notice it.
Yeah.
Papa John's, all those like fresh ingredients, whatever. I don't know. I don't really care. That goes into the cheese, maybe a little bit into like the bread or the dough. But like, I think the cheese is like really what hits. You know, when you get a nice
if it's done well,
thick slice. Yeah, it's not usually like melty everywhere. It has like those nice kind of like solid chunks.
It's got some pockets.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, it's got consistency. It's got texture.
I like how the Papa John's cheese like falls apart, basically.
Oh yeah, it comes in like tough.
Yeah, like it does. It's not like the melty cheese you get with like other pizzas.
Yeah,
it has more like globularness, and I might be a weirdo, but I kind of like that.
I don't know. It's not my favorite pizza cheese.
I don't know if it'd be my favorite, but like I like
it. Yeah. When the pizza is one of the good pizzas, it's good. But when you get it and it's just like the sauce is all cold for whatever reason.
Oh yeah.
And like the toppings aren't really hitting, then you just feel dirty eating the pizza.
Like what? Like okay, I'm a pretty plain Jane kind of pizza guy. I usually get just cheese and pepperoni because that's what I've always had. That's why I like it. It's a good like benchmark basically for a pizza place. Yeah,
it is a standard pizza.
You know, I can go crazy with like the weird barbecue sauce pizza.
Oh yeah,
whatever that stuff is. I think pepperoni quality is something pretty big as well.
That's very important. Yeah.
They're like pepperoni is not like a super complicated. It's definitely not like a high class topping. It's just some meat to put on there.
Yeah, it is. If there is one topping that exists at a pizza place, it's pepperoni.
Yeah, because
it's got to be.
It's the classic. But
cheese or pep, take your pick.
Yeah. So I mean, basically, like if you get a bad pizza place, usually you see pepperonis that are like small or like emaciated, dry, like and they like it's like the Sahara Desert. It like crunches like it's supposed to be like bacon or something. Like, oh my god.
Now
that's not how it should be.
I agree.
More fluid, more like a nice, easy kind of, like ideally the meat
like it's
on
a deli
pizza.
Meat. It should have deli property.
Yeah, like it's not supposed to be like tough, brittle.
No. But something, that I do kind of depend on in a good pepperoni on pizza. Not necessarily pepperoni pizza, but whenever I get pepperoni, there needs to be, it needs to be a cooked, warm, whatever, good textured piece of pepperoni. But it
good
also
textures?
needs
keep going.
It also it needs to be at its core just a good, solid, just meaty, good pepperoni. But you need at the edges, not all of the edge, Not all the time, not everywhere, not even consistently, just, kind of here and there. You need a
Yep.
little bit of that, like, I guess the dried out, like charred almost, like crispier area to give that texture.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like, this might be a kind of oddly specific metaphor, but have you ever been like making a grilled cheese and some of the cheese like drizzles onto the pan and it
Yeah.
does that weird like sear thing?
Mm-hmm.
And then you eat that cheese and you're like, whoa, I might be onto something here. Yes or no?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not like, okay. So here, I kind of have a really weird stance on that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
When I like things burnt, like, there's a few things like that. Sourdough bread, oh my god, that is so good. Like burnt.
Ooh, a nice sourdough.
Like a nice fresh
a nice
sourdough
pumpernickel.
You.
If I have to pick like deli bread, pumpernickel wins every time.
I don't know. Sourdough is king.
Sourdough's very good though.
But yeah, like a fresh sourdough loaf. If you have like the burnt edges, like oh my god.
Ooh. Yeah, like kind of like a grilled, like not necessarily grilled, but I guess like a toasted sourdough like deli sandwich.
Yeah, oh my god, those are so good.
So good.
Yeah.
To murder for.
Like with meats, usually I don't like them burnt like at all. Like
yeah.
Like I mean, I know what you mean. Like with my steak, that's more on the burn side. But like,
yeah, no, like then, I get
it. Still
steak
has
is
like
different.
Yeah, it has like kind of a squishiness to it still. Like if you get medium well,
it's a meaty texture. Yeah,
it's not like a brick.
It should no meat product should ever be a brick.
Yeah, no, but I don't like crispy bacon. Like I'm not that big of a fan of bacon, just like at all. But
okay.
if I want bacon, I don't want it to be like crunchy that much. I might be a complete weirdo, but I kind of like the soggier kind of bacon.
Okay, no, it's a very polarized topic.
This is kind of a hot take here. I know, but
in a sense, yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
like if bacon is on anything, like if you have like bacon bits or like a bacon sandwich, like that sort of care kind of goes away. Like I don't really care that much. It's
okay,
bacon
yeah,
at that point.
Because that's not the star.
Yeah. Like it always kind of adds a flavor, but yeah.
Yeah. I feel like this is where we kind of differ in terms of topping.
Mm-hmm.
I like topping. If I see a coupon for, up to 3 topping pizza for X price, you bet your ass I'm going to put 3 toppings on there. And I'm even going to go as far, and this is kind of my signature, to do 3 toppings on one half. And then a different 3 toppings or different, like combination, like keep 2, swap out 1, different toppings on the other half. And that still counts to them. But you get like 2 different pizzas. Because I like the topping. Yeah, exactly. You'd be dumb not to, unless you really like that one pizza.
I don't know, your classic pepperoni just all the way.
Yeah. And it's hard to fuck up, but it's impossible to perfect.
Yeah,
but
arguably.
Yeah, I like the topping. And
fair enough.
In terms of bacon, to go back to that, because I think that's a pretty pivotal aspect of this conversation.
Yeah.
I can't do soggy bacon. There's something to it,
Like if it's like completely soggy, I kind of agree with you. But like it needs to have like some moisture content in it still.
Yeah, exactly. It needs to have like the fat on the bacon needs to be like seared, caramelized, whatever food word.
Mm-hmm.
But like the meat, it can't be like wet. But it's like a little tender, not beef jerky, but it's that like nice, like, I don't even know how to describe it. That red, where if you were to hold it up to the light, like a little bit of light shines through.
Like the transparency or?
Like a little bit, but it's, it's not because it's meat, but still
meat transparency. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, like it has a transparent effect, but you know what I'm talking about, like that texture.
I don't know. That's
okay. I am getting oddly specific.
Yeah, like
but yeah,
I don't eat bacon that much.
That's how I like mine.
Yeah, like largely, I haven't actually had bacon on its own for like a while, like for some years now. But
yeah, I haven't
like,
had it plain in a while either.
Yeah, it's usually on something, and on like I prefer like a little bit of like less of a crunch for when it's on stuff. But like
yeah, like a BLT or something.
Yeah,
that's fair. Back to the pizza thing.
Yeah,
I brought up the whole Domino's thing like half an hour ago. Yeah, I guess that's the point of this podcast. Leave no stones unturned, but yeah, I'd like to turn a few back over.
Okay.
So,
like put them away, like make people like forget that we talked about them.
We turn them all over.
Just turn them over
sometimes
again. Get a new angle.
Like it's not a done deal. Like you turned it over, but you didn't finish the turning. Like it's the process of turning it over, seeing all there is to see. Kind of investigating, and then you're done. You put the stone back. Kind of done deal. Instead of you flip it over and you're like, oh, that's cool, and then you just leave it there, whatever, sitting.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. So Domino's.
Yeah. But yeah, Domino's. I have found over time Domino's to be the most consistent pizza fast food place.
Consistently garbage.
Hot take. I know. People are very, very, very polarized on Domino's. You either love it or you hate it. I have heard a bunch of shit on Domino's, and rightfully so. It's like a step up from like Little Caesars. It's a big step, but it's still Domino's. But in terms of what I order, what I expect, and like the standard deviation of quality, I can depend on and be satisfied with the Domino's pizza more times than with any other chain.
Okay, I mean, like, I get you. Like, if you like that, like, I mean, okay. Like I said, I've never had a Domino's pizza that I liked. Like, it's always been kind of eh.
Yeah.
If you like that taste, then I agree with you. It's been consistently so far that I've had it. But yeah. Like I mean the only thing I like about Domino's as a company is that they fill in like the potholes in places for free. And they just put their logo on it. And they just say, "Oh,
it's
we
genius
did."
branding.
Like that is really smart, and that's actually genuinely a cool thing. Good job,
yeah,
Domino's.
And they're bettering the community. Yeah.
Yeah, like I would really like that if only they made pizza that I liked, but
that's fair.
Can't have them all.
They, for a while, were pretty just like pizza.
You either get Papa John's with like some decent pizza, and then Papa John as like the CEO, but not anymore. Or you get like a nice company. Yeah. They do some cool stuff.
Yeah,
like
an
PR.
Altruistic. Yeah.
Yeah, and they they do fun things. I guess they like change, and they're like, okay, we're now a full food place, not just a pizza place.
Yeah, they kind of expanded.
But then you just don't make pizza. That's good.
I've noticed that they have gone from a more like pizza to they're spicing it up a little bit. Their crust has been significantly better than it has been. It's got some zest to it on the crust,
Yeah, that I wouldn't know, but yeah.
Well, I don't know what the is for in this case.
Yeah,
but it's got kind of like a garlicky, like Parmesan type of almost glaze, I suppose. It's pretty good in my opinion. The cheese, pretty good, pretty consistent. It's not fantastic, And maybe that's a bigger element as to why you don't really care for it. I'm not really super drawn toward the cheese. As long as it's not bad, I really don't care.
I don't know. Like I usually, okay, like, I mean, granted my memories faded or whatever, but like, I don't think it was even the cheese. Like, like cheese is kind of hard to mess up, I think. Like, and either it can be really good or it can be just kind of like there. Like, I've never had it's a bad cheese necessarily, because it's either there or it's either like good and you like taste it, or you just kind of like don't.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing that got me was the the cheese didn't really taste like anything. Like, I didn't really get too much from it. The crust, like I did not like how they did their dough, at least on the underside. Like, if you get to like the little handlebar, maybe a different story. I don't know. And I don't really remember their sauce either. Like, it is kind of like the black one. But yeah, like, and the pepperonis, I don't think were that great either. But yeah,
I don't know. Pizza,
it just might be a fundamental, disjointment.
And maybe I'm the weirdo, or we're the weirdos, and everyone else likes pretty much every pizza, like fast food pizza place. And it's all fine.
Would I eat Domino's like over nothing, or over
like Desert Island?
Yeah, absolutely I would, but like, I don't know, like, I feel like it's bottom of my like tier list.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that fast food pizza is not intrinsically just average in quality, but it's typically, from what I've experienced, it's just not that great. And like, as a kid, you're like, yeah, pizza, fuck yeah. But you're like 5, so you don't know fuck.
Yeah.
So, now I'm like, oh yeah, pizza. I like pizza. But I find myself significantly more disappointed nowadays because, I have taste buds and expectations, I guess.
Yeah, that's fair. Like,
hot take.
Yeah, I don't know. But my food, like, taste isn't that refined. Like, I tried sushi once, and I'm not a big, like, I don't eat seafood, like, at all. Like, I think max I usually have is, like, shrimp when I go to, like, a hibachi kind of place. And that's pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
But,
I love hibachi.
Yeah, like, that's really great. But like fish and everything, like, even though like my grandparents are like really big fisher people, and stuff, like, I don't really like have it at all. So I tried sushi, which is like not the way you get into seafood, I don't think.
No, like, that was adventurous for me back in my time of...
Yeah, well, I mean, like, going from full force to not ever having a fish before to stuffing, like, some weird, like, roll in your mouth. And I was like, ugh. Like, it wasn't terrible. Yeah. It was definitely a new taste. Like, the first one I had, not that bad. I was like, okay, like, this is something. Do I like it exactly? No, not really. But, like, would I have another? Sure. So I get to the second one. I was out with like friends. We had a big, like, we went to this one restaurant. They had this really nice like sushi platter. It was like this big like ship, and it was like filled to the brim with like the little rolls and everything. And they brought some like lobster sushi out, and I'm like, whoa, this is cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had my first one. I'm like, okay, and then so we got like a good selection just to be like, okay, so you've never had sushi before. This is a good starter one, and I had the starter one.
Figure out.
And that's what was, pretty good. And then, I looked at the whole thing, and I'm like, okay, this sushi has a fun name. I like the sushi on the menu. Like it was like, okay, this is a cool one. I know what this means in Japanese. I think I'll try it. And I didn't look at the ingredients or anything. It's like, okay, fish and then like other stuff. It's like, whatever.
Yeah.
So I take it.
Stuff.
I eat it, and it is the worst thing I've like ever tasted. I've had
Damn.
some pretty bad things before. 8th grade, I went on like a field trip to some places. I don't know who. Someone brought those like jelly beans, like yeah,
The Bean Boozled ones.
yeah, those.
Oh
and
man,
I had a dog food one.
You can't win on those. Both of them are bad.
I played it once because it was fun, but like no,
never again.
It was definitely dog food when I had it. I had to spit it out in the trash can. That was like the most disgusting thing. I think I don't know if the sushi was like that bad, but it was like on par, and like no one else in the group liked it either. Like it was like there's people who've had it before, and it was kind of like gross. There were other ones that were decent, and I had a couple more after just to like cleanse my palate or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like I don't know, like I couldn't get past that one. Like even the one that I kind of liked before wasn't that great after it. Like it, yeah. The one saving grace of that night is that like at the end they had like this mochi ice cream.
Oh, okay, there you go.
And yeah, mochi is like this like rice paste, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and they make like ice cream. I have no idea how they make ice cream out of it. But that stuff was like really good. It was like hard to bite into. I've read the entire Wikipedia page on mochi before, but it's like this Japanese, so it's like the sticky stuff. It's usually not like, it's usually not ice cream. Like people just eat it like straight up because they have like sugar or whatever in it. That's pretty cool. Like, but apparently, another digression, there's like a certain number of people in Japan, like every year, who die from like choking on mochi. Like they have it down to like an exact like statistic, and I'm like, how do you like track this stuff? Like, I mean, obviously,
who's consolidating all of these numbers?
Who's keeping count? Like they have like they have like the Ministry of like Food Safety or whatever. They have that one guy in the office who's like tallying up the mochi deaths.
That's where it starts. Yeah. Not like FDA stuff. Like, are they putting pesticides in their whatever?
Well, no. I bet that dude has like an actual job. Like he's out there being like, is this sushi bad? No, this is a war crime. Sorry. But like on the side, like it says hobby.
Right.
He counts the mochi deaths and just like puts it out into like the national like statistics.
Some database, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, to kind of piggyback off of this, as we were talking about sushi, I think it might be an even better counter coffee than barbecue.
Sushi?
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, yeah, maybe.
Do you know the origin of sushi?
Yeah, well, I mean, they just like fermented rice and they put like fish in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lower class,
indeed,
like fisherman's like snack.
Yeah, and it smelled really bad, and you couldn't even eat the rice with it because it was just so putrid.
Yeah.
Just to preserve the fish. It was like packing things with salt.
It's still a food item. That's kind of the problem I have with it still. Yeah. But arguably, so like barbecue, sushi, both things that kind of counter coffee is more like that they transit actually. Well, I mean, they transitioned the same way. Like barbecue,
and
same thing.
Japan is on the other side of the world from, Central America.
Yeah. And it was more of a combination food as opposed to just like coffee being like the ground remains of.
You could argue that coffee is a combination.
Well, I mean, now it is, but way back when it wasn't.
Oh, no. Yeah, that was just bitter, have fun.
Okay,
enjoy,
but like.
See ya.
But I the only thing I could say is like a true counter to coffee is like
sleeping pills.
Is like like NyQuil or something. I don't know if that helps you sleep. But like it's that sort of thing because you don't, people regularly have coffee unless you have a diagnosed like medical condition, which fair enough.
Right. To each his own.
Yeah. You don't like usually like people don't go around and pop sleeping pills like for fun.
Yeah, outside of like all this Huxley books.
Yeah. Like there's enough sleeping aids, our podcast. There you go, self-deprecating joke, round one. Ooh. But anyway, like yeah, like people don't like go and pop those usually because they don't like need to. People can sleep enough because of coffee and like the sort of like societal emphasis on like working, to the bone.
Yeah.
There's not like a bunch of flavors. There's no cultural debate. You just take sleeping pills. It's just
it's a means to an end.
Yeah. Whereas coffee, it is a means to an end, but there's all these layers of like
it's an experience.
Yeah, it's all these layers of like culture and like ways to do it and like flavor and people who don't even like drink coffee for just like the caffeine part. It's like the flavor and everything, the whole culture behind it. That sleeping pills and that sort of thing, there's just none of that. No one's like, oh hey, have you tried the new flavor of sleeping pill? Because like no, no one does that. It accomplishes like the opposite thing. It has none of the culture. It didn't it has no like historical component or whatever. Like I'm sure there's like older sleeping aids, but in terms of like a modern conception, it is modern medicine.
Yeah.
So well and truly, I think sleeping aids is like the only thing that exactly counters like the place of coffee in our society.
I would agree with that.
We are sitting at like 2 hours and 10 minutes. So I think that's a good stopping point.
I think so too, man. That was quite the journey.
Yeah, absolutely.
We did indeed digress.
Yeah. That was a lot of digression. So thanks everyone for listening today to the And I Digress podcast. Potentially we'd probably like to keep this, semi-regular.
Yeah. We'll be here maybe.
We'll try
doing this. I'd like to.
Yeah. I wanted to do more. Maybe weekly. We could put this out on SoundCloud.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll probably have a more defined schedule.
Yeah.
Maybe we can get some advertisements, some sponsors in the next episode.
Oh man.
Raid Shadow Legends.
The most ambitious crossover game.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So we're going to start off next week on sleeping pills.
Yeah.
And I think thinking about it now, we got a lot of fun digressions from that.
Oh yeah.
But yeah. So thank you guys all for listening once more, and we'll be back again soon enough.
Between now and then.
Yeah.